In the picturesque state of Himachal Pradesh, known for its rolling hills and lush forests, an extraordinary event unfolded one crisp autumn morning that would forever be etched into the memories of those who witnessed it. The incident occurred on a busy highway cutting through the verdant forests where humans and wildlife often coexisted in a delicate balance. It began like any other day, with vehicles rushing past each other, their honks blending into the symphony of nature. Suddenly, chaos erupted. Out of nowhere, a leopard emerged onto the road, halting traffic in its tracks. At first, fear gripped the travelers as they caught sight of the majestic creature. Some locked their car doors, while others craned their necks for a better look, unsure of what the leopard might do next. It was rare for such a wild animal to venture so boldly into a busy road. But this leopard wasn't prowling. Instead, it walked deliberately, weaving through the standstill vehicles, seemingly unbothered by the commotion it caused. As moments passed, curiosity began to overshadow fear. A few travelers, emboldened by the leopard's oddly calm demeanor, stepped out of their cars to observe it from a safe distance. The leopard's behavior was unlike anything anyone expected. It approached the onlookers one by one, pausing in front of them as if trying to communicate. But each time it came close, the humans would retreat in fear, and the leopard would move on to the next person. This curious dance continued for several tense minutes, with the leopard's desperation becoming more evident with each step. Finally, two brave men decided to stand their ground. When the leopard approached them, it did something remarkable. It tugged gently at their clothes as though trying to guide them somewhere. The men exchanged nervous glances but didn't move away. Among the growing crowd was a middle aged man who seemed to sense the animal's intentions. He stepped forward cautiously, his calm demeanor radiating reassurance. The leopard turned its attention to him and, in an astonishing gesture, stood up on its hind legs, wrapping its front paws around a man's shoulders in what looked like a hug. Gasps echoed through the crowd, but the man didn't flinch. Instead, he gently held the leopard, waiting to see what it would do next. The leopard released him and began walking towards the forest, stopping frequently to look back as if urging the humans to follow. Intrigued and compelled by the leopard's peculiar behavior, the man and a group of onlookers decided to follow. The leopard led them down a narrow winding trail into the forest. It wasn't running but maintained a steady pace, always glancing back to ensure they were keeping up. After a short walk, the group arrived at a large well hidden among the trees. What they saw and the well melted their hearts. A small leopard cub was trapped at the bottom, its cries echoing through the deep dark shaft. The pieces of the puzzle fell into place. The leopard was the cub's mother, and she had risked venturing into human territory to seek help for her baby. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the travelers quickly called the local animal rescue team. While waiting, they tried to comfort the mother leopard, who had climbed a nearby tree, her anxious eyes never leaving the well. When the rescue team arrived, they assessed the situation and lowered a small cage into the well, hoping to coax the cub into it. But the little one, terrified and exhausted, refused to cooperate, hissing and clawing at the cage. The rescuers tried prodding it gently with a stick to guide it into the cage, but the cub's fierce spirit wouldn't relent. Finally, they devised a new plan. They placed some fresh meat inside the cage and lowered it again. The enticing smell caught the cub's attention. After a few hesitant moments, hunger won over fear, and the cub stepped into the cage. The rescuers carefully hoisted it out of the well, and the cub was immediately given water, which it drank eagerly. All the while, the mother leopard watched from her perch, her tense body gradually relaxing as she saw her cub being cared for. The rescuers decided to take the cub to a nearby veterinary hospital to ensure it was unharmed. The mother did not follow but stayed in the area, her eyes fixed on the humans, as if trusting them to do the right thing. After a thorough examination, the cub was declared healthy and was brought back to the spot where it had been rescued. The team placed the cub inside a small cage with a remotely controlled door and set it near the tree where the mother leopard awaited. The cub's plaintive cries soon reached the mother's ears. She descended from the tree cautiously, approaching the cage with deliberate steps. When she was close enough, the forest officials opened the cage door. The cub bolted out and leaped into its mother's arms, nuzzling against her as she licked it fervently. The reunion was a heartwarming sight, and many onlookers couldn't hold back their tears. The mother leopard lingered for a few moments, casting a long, almost grateful glance at the humans before disappearing into the forest with her cub. This extraordinary encounter was a poignant reminder of the deep emotions and bonds that even the fiercest creatures share. The love of a mother transcends species, and in that moment, humans and wildlife came together in an unspoken understanding. It was a story of trust, courage, and a universal language of compassion. A tale that would be passed down for generations as a testament to the connection between man and nature.